I wish I could do that.
Crew members Ellie and Max are engaged in a heated discussion in the kitchen.
Hey, Max.
Yes?
You really think we all have a purpose? That everything happens for a reason?
I used to think that, but not anymore.
Then, wait, why do you sound so calm? Aren't you getting annoyed?
Not in the least. But I do apologize, Dr. Finhill. It sounds like I have annoyed you.
Fine, be that way.
Captain, as it appears we may soon be embarking for a maximum security prison planet, I believe the crew would like to speak with you to, as you humans put it, air some concerns.
Well, folks, I ain't exactly keen on busting into a prison, but riddling bored stooges with bullets does sound like a riot and a half.
I never got to know Doc Wells. We ain't friends or crew. But he's still one of us. He's the reason the boss is up and walking right now. We can't just leave him to die in Tartarus.
To extract the scientist, you will need to infiltrate the labyrinth. But that course of action is likely to be quite dangerous, Captain.
The Labyrinth is a massive maximum security prison on an uninhabitable planet. Being incarcerated there is seen as a fate worse than death.
Still, we can't do nothing. It wouldn't be right.
The armed surveillance protocols on a maximum security prison planet are highly sophisticated. As such, escapes are historically quite impossible and deadly. I am programmed to warn you whenever you exhibit inclinations toward risky behavior. Breaking into Tartarus will not be easy.
Getting in is the simple part. It's getting out again that's the trouble. Trust me, I know.
Let's just do it. Kick down some doors, grab Doc Wells, and cut a path out. We don't need a plan. We got guns.
If you really mean to do this, you should see to your final affairs and close out any unfinished business. Once you sneak into Tartarus, you may be there a while. Or permanently.
It's the craziest plan I've ever heard. And I mean that as a compliment.
You didn't hire me to think. And I ain't about to start now. You're my boss. And I'll walk into fire with you.
I think it's insane, but maybe the colony needs a healthy dose of insanity right about now.
I know it's dangerous. And I won't lie and say I'm not scared out of my wits. But I couldn't live with myself if we didn't do something.
You're asking for more than bravery from us, Captain. But there are worse ways to go than dying for a good cause. I'm in.
Let Sam get the grime out. It's what our units do best.
The entire plan is a terrible idea, but I admire your bravado, Captain, which leads me to illogically believe, against the odds, that you will be successful.
If we don't make it, at least it'll be a great story.
Got my trusty tossball stick. Got my ass-kicking boots. I'm ready, boss.
Outstanding.
You can count on us, Captain. We're crew. For real crew. That means we got each other's backs. Right?
Never thought I'd volunteer to break into a prison. Seems like your tendency towards risky behavior is rubbing off on me, Captain.
Command not recognized.
Waiting on your commands, Captain. Welcome back, Captain. How can... Take care. I am pleased to inform you that we have arrived at the labyrinth. Please be advised that the punishment for trespassing is execution. Please be advised that electrical storms on the surface of Tartarus make departure impossible at this time. Resident count is as follows: 3,071. Resident deaths, including but not limited to executions, are as follows: 1,684. Resident escapes are as follows: 0. The interior can be chilly. Take a scarf with you, Captain. I would also ask that you leave your captain's ID with me, in the event that you do not return. I can make the assurance that I will not leave with another captain unless you do not return within 876 million, 541,652 hours. Oh, speak of the devil. Captain, I am receiving a transmission from the prison's docking authority now.
Attention, unauthorized spacecraft. This is a maximum security installation. Your presence here is an explicit violation of UDL corporate policy. You are hereby confined to your docking platform until a ticket detailing your crimes has been filed and notarized, at which point your vessel will be seized and you will be executed. I wager it'll take a bit longer than it takes you to lose your patience and storm out of your ship looking to get shot. To be honest, that'd make my job a lot easier. You come out, we shoot you full of holes, and then everyone goes about their day worry-free. Except you. You'll be dead. All right. I'm feeling generous. I'm transmitting the idea of a productive, law-abiding employee so you can see what one looks like before you die. Anyway, Tartarus Docking Authority signing up. Hang on. Another ship just pulled into your dock. Wait, is that from the Groundbreaker? What the? Pay no mind to that. Just have a pleasant day.
Transmission terminated. Biometric ID received. Transferring data to external cartridge. How can I be of assistance? Goodbye.
Captain did right by us once. Now it's our turn. The board will never own Groundbreaker. Not while I breathe. Push on, Mardad.
Dump the bodies to the rest. Stay down, all ahead. Somebody toss this garbage out here.
What? What's that? I saw something from there. Got your paperwork squared away. Are you new here? I didn't think we were hiring more staff. Oh, no. Don't tell anyone, please. Whew. Thank you.
Hold it. Something about you doesn't look right. No, I meant your uniform. There's something about it. Yeah?
Understood. I'll keep my head down.
Did right by us once. Now it's our turn. The board will never own Groundbreaker. Not while I breathe. Push on, Marta!
Stay down,
That's one down. Dump the bodies. Don't let up. Somebody clean up.
The captain did right by us once. Now it's our turn.
What's that
The board will never own Groundbreaker. Not while I breathe. Push on, Mardat.
Something's not right. Hold it right there. Are you new here?
Right by us once. Now it's our turn. The board will never own Groundbreaker. Not while I breathe. Push on, Mardat.
Call this place the labyrinth. Perhaps we should all meditate on that as we make our descent.
This might be the loneliest place in the whole system.
I suppose it would be too late to back out now, huh? Fear not, Captain. I'll watch your back.
Are you new here? Oh.
Great work. Dang, that's impressive. Done.
Hold it. No. Got your paperwork squared away? Got your paperwork squared away?
I'm working as fast as I can, all right? If y'all would quit bothering me, I'd get this done sooner.
ซูชิอูนิกับเมงโดะ
More than one of you have asked in the comments on previous episodes for things like milk punch, koji, and cured egg yolks. How in the world have you not done one on onions yet? Onions! It's a fair point. It's hard to imagine a kitchen without onions. Across cultures, cuisines, and continents, onions are the starting point to basically every food that's worth eating. Onions are popular. How popular? Well, for one, they're the most widely consumed allium in the world. That means they beat out garlic. Sorry, garlic. Perhaps even more impressive than that, they consistently rank in the top 2 or 3 most consumed vegetables on planet Earth. Ask anyone why onions are so popular, and you're likely to get the exact same answer: great flavor. And the ability to impart that great flavor into countless dishes. Onion flavor works a lot like garlic flavor. So if you remember from our garlic bread video, which you should watch if you haven't yet, flavor is only created when cell walls are damaged. When you break an onion cell wall by cutting, chopping, or chewing, release an enzyme called allanase, and that goes to work on a sulfur-containing compound to start producing flavor. At the same time, another enzyme goes to work to make a very special compound called propane-diol S oxide, or PSO. If you've ever cried when chopping onions, you have PSO to thank for that. And likely, not very sharp knife. That's right, a dull knife will actually leave more cell walls than a sharp one, and that will create more PSO and more crime. Onions are amazing because there are so many ways to control and manage their flavor to get just the result that you're looking for. And the first way is shopping. At the supermarket, you'll always find a handful of varieties, usually yellow onions, white onions, red onions, and what are called the sweet varieties, such as
ซูจิอุ้ยอร่อยมันจะอร่อยกว่าที่ร้านไหมอยู่เหมือนกัน
มีแช่แข็งน่าจะเหมือนกับที่กินที่ร้านเมื่อเช้า
Dahlia and Walla Walla. For cooking, yellow onions are king because they produce the most strong onion flavor. Now, cooking mellows that flavor, so you gotta start with something. Yellow onions, for that exact same reason, can be overpowering when eaten raw. Milder white and red onions are much nicer for raw applications. But don't forget that all onions can be made more mild for eating raw by simply rinsing the slices after cutting. Just add your sliced onions to a bowl of water, let them sit for about 15 minutes, and then drain and dry. This step removes the pungent flavor compounds that were formed on the cut surfaces. Now, about those sweet varieties. Now, some of them certainly do contain more sugar than yellow onions, but the sweet actually refers more to the fact
เปิด
that they're
YouTube ดูอะไรไปเลย
unable to produce that onion flavor in the first place. I'll explain. Now, the pungent flavor compounds in onions contain a sulfur atom. Therefore, it might not come as a surprise that the sulfur content of the soil in which the onions are grown can actually have a big impact on the intensity of their flavor. The sweet varieties are grown in really specific regions, such as Vidalia, Georgia, or Walla Walla, Washington, that are known for having really sulfur-poor soils. Less sulfur makes makes it into the onion as it matures, and therefore less pungent onion flavors produced during cutting. Crazy, right? Speaking of cutting, we have to talk about cutting, because this is where you have a ton of control as a cook. Depending on how you cut an onion, you can create different amounts of onion flavor. This minced onion has more flavor than this cross-grain sliced onion, which has more flavor than this pulled sliced onion, which has more flavor than this smashed whole onion. Okay, so I guess no one does that with onions. But the point is, the more slicing, chopping, and cell wall breaking that you do, the more onion flavor you create. And yes, you heard me right. Slicing an onion pole to pole, or with its natural grain, will damage less cell walls and create less flavor than slicing across the grain, which damages many more cell walls. Oh, and a cross-grain slice of onion will fall apart much more readily during cooking than a more structurally sound pole-to-pole slice. So, use that in your cooking as needed. But that's not all. Even the part of the onion you cut will make a difference. The outer layers contain more of those flavor precursors than the inner layers, and so they'll be more flavorful. Wow, onions. Wow. While we're deep into cutting, I want to talk about two options for slicing onions pole to pole. You can slice straight up and down like this and make a fine sliced onion. I mean, look at those. Those are fine sliced onions. But if you're looking for a sliced onion with a little more style and grace, you can follow the natural radial pattern of the onion and angle your blade as you go. The result is cleaner, prettier slices. That's all, but they sure are pretty. Even order of operations matters when it comes to cutting an onion, at least when it comes to dicing and mincing. Now in this case, it's not about flavor, it's about ease of execution. To dice an onion, you need to make both vertical and horizontal cuts. Now for most humans, the horizontal cuts are more challenging, so you want to set yourself up for success. Check out this experiment. If you make your vertical cuts first, you compromise the structure of the onion, making your horizontal cuts a lot more difficult. See how much trouble I'm having with this? Simply reversing the order of operations and doing your horizontal cuts first makes it a lot easier. So check it out. You'll also notice that for the horizontal cuts, I start at the heel of the blade and pull it through in a slicing motion to the tip. That helps the knife glide through the onion, and it's a lot better than starting in the middle of the knife and sawing back and forth. I hear some of you saying right now, but I hate horizontal cuts and I never want to make one in my entire life. Dan, what can I do? Well, like with most things in life, you can totally avoid it and it's fine. You just need to make an additional cut on each half so you're working with onion quarters like this. Then you just slice vertically, knock it over 90 degrees, and slice vertically again. Okay, one final note on cutting. We all know that prepping ahead of time is one of the cook's most powerful tools. And you can prep all kinds of vegetables pretty far in advance with little loss of flavor or texture. Not so with onions. That cascade of chemical reactions you set off with your knife continues as onions sit. And that lovely onioniness quickly gives way to harsh and unpleasant flavors. Day-old cut onions are pretty gross. So, best bet is to just cut them right before you deep them. If you do find yourself with sliced onions that were cut a day or two ahead, we did find one application where they actually work pretty well, and that is caramelized onions. And that is what we call a segue. Let's go to the kitchen. We're gonna make a batch of Cook's Illustrated Senior Editor Lon Lamb's recipe for caramelized onions because they are delicious, they're much faster than your standard caramelized onion recipe, and they demonstrate the beautiful power of water. That's right, we're gonna start with sliced onions, 3/4 of a cup of water, some salt and oil in a covered 12-inch skillet. And we'll cook them this way until the water evaporates as steam and the onions collapse and soften. Then we remove the lid and... okay, these do look pretty sad at this point. But here's the thing. The early part of caramelizing onions the traditional way isn't about browning at all. It's about collapsing and tenderizing and releasing sugars. And water makes that happen faster. Then we just ditch the lid, reduce the heat, and alternate between stirring and pressing the onions into the pan for just 15 to 20 minutes. All in, we get silky, tender, richly flavored caramelized onions in about half an hour. And once we've done that, we are mere minutes away from the world's greatest expression of oniony goodness. You know what I'm talking about. Onion dip. This one is rich with sour cream and yogurt, packed with caramelized onions, and finished with chives and black pepper. Just one of the many incredible things you can do with caramelized onions. Another versatile onion staple that every fridge deserves is pickled red onions, and this could be easier. We just make a pickling liquid with vinegar, water, sugar, and salt, and then we just heat that up real good and pour it over a pile of sliced red onions. These guys are ready to eat after about 8 hours of fridge time, and they're happy to hang out there for another 2 weeks while you figure out how to put them on, well, every time. I love them on sandwiches, and especially on salads, but that is not the ultimate way to eat onions. This is how to eat onions. No, come on, it's this dip. Obviously, it's the dip. So, did I convince you to try onions? If you do so, I really can't think of an ingredient that is more satisfying, warming, even cozy than butter. It just makes people happy. It makes them smile. Where's there some sort of visual analogy for how eating butter makes you feel? I got nothing. Anyway, let's talk about butter. You know that feeling when you've had a friend for a long time and you finally meet their parents and everything they understand their weird quirky behaviors, their funny sense of humor, their odd head shape. Well, the same works for butter. So let's start with milk. Milk is an oil and water emulsion. It's about 90% water. And dissolved in that water are sugar and proteins. And suspended throughout that water are globules of milk fat, each just a few microns across. Straight out of the cow, the average milk contains 4% fat. Enclosing each globule is a membrane that keeps the fat particles separated and suspended. But despite those membranes, the fat particles, which are less dense than water, will eventually rise to the top. After a day or so of sitting undisturbed, the topmost layer of unhomogenized milk will contain 35% or more fat. Skim off that top layer and you've got cream. Still an oil and water emulsion, that cream becomes butter through the process of churning. Churning involves feeding air into the cream and slamming the fat particles against one another again and again and again. On a microscopic level, tiny air bubbles worked into the cream act like magnets for fat. Each air bubble will stick to several fat particles and disrupt that protective membrane, causing the fat particles to stick to the surface of the bubble. When two air bubbles collide, boom, the fatty layers that surround them combine into a larger fat clump. Fat clump sticks to fat clump, snowballing until all of the butter is essentially one big mass, and the liquid it's swimming in is fat-free buttermilk. During the churning process, another really interesting thing happens. Whereas milk and cream are both emulsions of fat droplets swimming in water, butter is just the opposite. It's made up of tiny droplets of water suspended throughout the butter fat. By law, butter made in the US has to contain at least 80% butter fat, though some premium butters and those made in Europe go up as high as 86%. The remaining pieces of the pie are about 13 to 19% water and about 1% of what we call milk solids. That would be protein, sugars, vitamins, and minerals. And there you have it, butter, a simple, singular, foundational ingredient. Except, butter is all that simple, or that singular. The truth is, butter contains multitudes. Butter is an impressive shapeshifter, taking on a wide range of forms based largely on temperature. A cold stick of butter straight from the fridge, around 34 to 40 degrees, is really firm because butter fat is highly saturated. This quality makes fridge temperature butter pretty horrible for spreading on bread, but incredibly useful in baking. As we talked about in our ultimate biscuit showdown episode, which you should watch if you haven't, you create flakiness in baked goods by sandwiching layers of dough with layers of chilled butter. As the baked good heats in the oven, the butter fat melts, releasing the water which turns to steam, and that helps puff and separate those layers of dough. That's a beautiful thing for biscuits, croissants, and puff pastry. As its temperature climbs into the 60s, butter turns into, wait for it, softened butter. That might sound like kind of a vague term, but softened butter actually refers to a really specific temperature, ideally 67 degrees. At that temp, it's a perfect state to reclaim your sugar. Here's how that works. Softened butter and sugar go into a stand mixture with a paddle attachment and we beat it up. As the sugar is forced through the butter, it releases millions of microscopic air bubbles into it. When used in, say, a cake, the bubbles expand in the heat of the oven, which will look like this. If butter is too cold to firm, then air can't be incorporated. And if the butter is too warm, the bubbles collapse. Butter in the 70s and 80s had really big hair. I mean, butter in the 70s and 80s is lusciously spreadable. This butter is bread's best friend. Now, up to this point in our climb on the old Mercury, we've seen some changes in texture. But from here on out, things get a lot more dramatic. When butter creeps into the 90s, it loses one of its key attributes. The butter fat reaches its melting point, turns to a liquid, and is no longer capable of separating its protein and sugar-rich drops of water. That's right, the emulsion breaks. Melted butter is for dipping lobster in, because there's other stuff in it. Oh right, melted butter is perfect for adding to cookies and quick breads where you don't want the added air that creamed butter would bring. If we keep heating the butter up over 212 degrees, we boil off the water, leaving just the butter fat and the milk solids behind. Once all of the water is gone, the temperature can continue to climb. In the mid-200s, the milk solids brown thanks to the Maillard reactions. You get culinary gold, ultra-nutty brown butter. From the melted cream, you can also make clarified butter. When you skim off the milk solids, ladle off the butter fat, and leave the water behind. Clarified butter, free of those brownable milk solids, can be heated to nearly 400 degrees before it starts to smoke, making it ideal for searing meats. You can also make ghee, where you slowly cook it until the water is gone and the milk solids brown, but then you strain out the brown bits. Ghee gives you that same super high smoke point, but lovely, nutty background flavor. The possibilities with butter are nearly limitless, and they're all improved if you buy really good butter. These days, you can buy great butter at the supermarket, and you should do just that. But you should also try making your own butter at home. I'm not talking about accidentally overwhipping cream with your kids in a fun science experiment. I'm talking about making real cultured butter. Cultured butter starts with cream and friendly bacteria that prevent some of the lactose sugar and lactic acid that has tanginess and also thickens the cream. In the old days, culture just happened naturally as cream sat around and churned the butter. Nowadays, you can make it with far more precision. And trust me on this, you want to make it. Butter made with cultured cream is really good. Let's go to the kitchen. We're going to make these all atoms.
ngon rồi.
ลองจุดของ พรุ่งนี้เย็นเรากินข้าวกันมื้อสุดท้ายไหมหรือพี่บิวจะทำ
ที่ไหนอ่ะ
ก็พรุ่งนี้จะอยู่แถวลพบุรีอ่ะแล้วก็จะเลยไปกลับเลย ก็ถ้าที่เป็นทางผ่านก็น่าจะเป็นลพบุรีไม่ก็ปลายทางมันลงเกียวบาชิ
เกียวบาชิ
ไปส่งน้องไหม
ขี้เกียจไปถึงสถานีบัสอะเกียวบาชิอยู่นะ
เกียวบาชิก็คือบัสแล้วอะไรจะมาจริงแค่ลพบุรีก็ได้นะแล้วเดี๋ยวไปเองก็ได้
เกียวบาชินี่มันโตเกียวอ๋อรถบัสกี่โมงอะ
บัสรอบ4 ทุ่มครึ่ง
มันจะอยู่ลบปงยี่ถึงแค่2-3 ทุ่มอะไรอย่างเงี้ยเหรอ
ใช่
ทุ่มสองแล้วก็
ก็ออกไม่เกิน3 ทุ่มจากลพบุรี
นี่คือจะเอากระเป๋าไว้ที่บ้าน แล้วก็ไปกลับลบปงยี่หรือยังไง
ก็ถ้าพี่บิวมากินข้าวด้วยกันจะฝากพี่บิวเอามาให้ได้ไหมอ่ะ
จะอยู่ลบปงยี่ถึงเย็นเลย
ใช่แต่ถ้าพี่บิวไม่มาก็คงต้องเอากระเป๋าไปเลยแล้วก็คงไปฝากจะได้สะดวกเดินมิวเซียมก็คงมีที่ฝากบ้าง
ก็แต่ถ้าออกจากมิวเซียมก็ต้องเอาออกอยู่ดี
ก็อาจจะฝากที่สถานีรถไฟฟ้าเพราะว่าต้องมาขึ้นไปนู่นก็คงจะอยู่แถวนั้นไปเลย
มันอยู่ลบปงยี่ได้ทั้งวันเลยเหรอไม่อยากทำอะไรไม่รู้ว่าจะตอนเย็นจะออกไปเจอหรือเปล่าก็ขี้เกียจออกจากบ้านแต่เกมน่าจะจบแล้วจบแล้วก็น่าจะไปได้มั้งแต่ก็
จบเลยเหรอ
มันหยุดอะต้องเล่นให้จบ ยังไม่แน่ใจอะเอากระเป๋าไปก่อนแล้วกันเผื่อตอนเย็นไม่ออกเผื่อจะไปกินเปลี่ยนแผนอะไรยังไงเอากระเป๋าไปด้วยเลยน่าจะเซฟกว่าแล้วพรุ่งนี้ไปยังไงใต้ดินไปต่อที่โกทันดาสถานีลบพรุ่งนี้เลยเหรอหรืออิโจเมะ
จะไปโมนิการลงสถานีลพบุรีเลย
ได้ต้องไปเปลี่ยนที่เอพิซึนะมันดูไหลต่อกุทันดะเดี๋ยวนะได้ ที่ลูกคันเห็นไทยมีกูดกโจเมนประสาทมองเป็นติดเป็นถ้าไปห้องนี้จากนี่มันเปลี่ยนหลายต่ออะ
ไปลูกโป่งหินได้ไหม
ฮะอะไรนะ
จากนี้ไปลูกโป่งหินเปลี่ยนหลายต่อ
มันไม่ไกลแต่มันเปลี่ยนหลายต่อมันก็ไปได้ไม่ได้นานขนาดนั้นแต่ขี้เกียจเปลี่ยนไปมา
แล้วให้ไปหาที่
ก็เที่ยวไปเรื่อยๆก็ได้ตอนเย็นอยู่ไหนเราบอกมาอีกทีแล้วกัน
แต่คิดว่าคงอยู่นั่นแหละก็จะไปโมลิพาสก็ขึ้นมาแล้วก็ไปอีกมิวเซียมหนึงก็น่าจะอีกที
I'm working as fast as I can, all right? If y'all would quit bothering me, I'd get this done sooner. Is that a joke? Y'all call me out to fix the FPS and now you're asking me who I am? Whatever. I need to fix this before I get in trouble, so stop bothering me. Forced pacification system. If the prisoners riot, we gas them. It went a little haywire after the last deployment, so here I am. Anyway, I need to finish this, so get out of here, will you? What? Of course. Why? Oh. Figures. It ain't like the place is on lockdown or anything. Hope they didn't rough you up on the way in here. The password is tartar sauce. One word. All lowercase. Have at it.
Easy does it.
What? Not so fast! Are you new here?
Let's go, troops. Stellar Base counting on us.
I need cover! Take him down! Open fire!
Here they come. That's the last.
Let's go, troops. Stellar base counting on us. Let's go, troops. Stellar base counting on us.
I'll take this one!
Let's go, troops. Stellar base counting on us. Let's go, troops. Stellar base counting on us.
Something's not right. Hold it. No, I...
Well done. We're still alive.
Well, look who it is. I'll be damned. I was prepping the studio for our announcement, and here you are as a bonus. I had heard you'd taken a mechanic under your wing. What's the matter, girl? Couldn't find actual employment?
The captain's treated me right. Better than any of you bored folk ever have. I'm exactly where I want to be.
And the convict. The vicar. You know, most people, once they're out of prison, don't seem keen on returning.
Oh, I would go anywhere to see you fall, sir.
When you go off and get yourself shot, try to avoid taking one to the face. I'll want it recognizable to show to my citizens. My word! You've correctly identified the most recognizable man in the colony. Remarkable. It's a wonder what Phineas saw in you. Then again, he's an insane person. Thankfully, he's our insane person now. A proper company man. Yes, he is an extraordinarily obstinate fellow, isn't he? Fine, he isn't working for us per se. Semantics, he'll come around. But that's between us. As far as my adoring citizens will know, we've turned a dangerous crackpot into a working-class man. It's a miracle. Oh yes, go on, wake them up, add more mouths to feed. That'll solve our starvation problems. I don't know what half-baked plans that simpleton in a lab coat has been leading you through, but it's done. It's over. Let me ask you something, Captain. Have you at any point thought about not fucking up our entire society?
I believe we could ask you the same.
I'm making actual progress towards stabilization and recovery. You're just getting in the way. Oh, right. This coming from the psychopathic outlaw. Yes, I'll try to be more open-minded about your path of wanton descent. We don't need your help. I'll admit, there's no shortage of talent in the scientists and engineers there. Look, I'm not an unreasonable man. If you manage to storm the castle, as it were, and make it out of here with Phineas alive, I can't exactly afford more havoc than you've already caused. Fine. If you survive, you'll need someone to sell the rest of the board on your plan.
Wasting company ammo.
I've got work to do.
All right, MSI. I'm not one for rousing speeches, but the captain needs our help. So, get in there and fight!
I don't see what the fuss is about a blasted laptop.
Everyone all right?
All right, MSI. I'm not one for rousing speeches, but the captain needs our help. So get in there and
Everything in my life has been leading up to this point. I believe I am ready for this.
Whatever comes of this. I need to know you all.
Captain, you have an uncanny talent for complicating my life. You've been working with Dr. Wells from the beginning. When we moved to arrest him, he was prepared. I lost good soldiers in the attempt. You've disrupted the balance of power. You've upset the natural order of things. You've introduced uncertainty, and there is nothing I despise more than uncertainty. I'm afraid I can't do that. To your credit, Captain, you are one of the colony's finest specialists. Your technical abilities are beyond reproach. For all your talents, you are the enemy of Halcyon, and therefore you are my enemy. Our partnership is behind us. You had your chance to work with me, but you elected to, as the common worker might say, throw in with that demented old test tube jockey. Dr. Wells is being held in my custody. His cooperation will prove invaluable, even if I have to beat it out of him. All that's left to do is put down this riot, arrest you, and then get on with the bloody business of saving this colony. Fair enough. I'm giving you exactly one chance to parley with me. You were the finest agent I'd ever had. I believed we would save Halcyon together. But I was wrong. You wander the system, doing as you please, answering to no one. Your mere existence throws Halcyon into chaos. I simply can't have that. The board is the only power left at Halcyon. We're the only ones keeping this colony from dissolving into ruin. You had so much potential. I would have put your talents to good use. I would have made you wealthy beyond belief. I'm not in the business of working with my enemies, and you've made your loyalties abundantly clear. You were always an unknown variable. I tried to recruit you, but you threw your lot in with that madman, Phineas Wells. I'm aware of Dr. Wells' plan. Revive some brilliant scientists and engineers from the Hope and work with them to save the colony. He's already revived you, after all. 50 or 60 years ago, I might have agreed with you. But we've passed the point of no return. The best scientists in Halcyon can't save us now. I appreciate your confidence, Captain. But so long as you're allied with Dr. Wells, we can never work together. I haven't given up on the program yet. You've caused some complications, but I can improvise. I can fix this. I haven't lost control of the labyrinth yet. Our security system is still operational. I can still put a stop to you. What? You can't be serious. Oh, for the love of the law. All right. Fine. I can see when I've been beaten. Congratulations, Captain. You've outplayed me. I accept your terms and will return Dr. Wells to your care. I just hope you've made the right decision. The fate of the colony is in your hands now. I bid you farewell, Captain. Captain, you... Interesting that you think I'm going to die here. I believe I'm more than capable of taking you on. Fair point. I don't know how you've managed to defy the odds. By every reasonable estimate, you should be dead. Yet here you stand. I've devoted my entire life to protecting Halcyon. I'm not afraid to die in the line of duty. Don't you think I know that? Yes, I made mistakes. Costly mistakes. Leaving you alive was the worst of them all. You were always an unknown. You were too dangerous to leave unsupervised. I had to make use of you. When I sent you to deal with Phineas, I thought I'd won you over. You chose to ally yourself with an irrational madman. I gave you a chance to serve the law, and you sided with anarchy. Why? I understand. You have an entire population of colonists depending on you. So do I. I haven't given up on the program yet. When you put it that way, no. Not in the least. Damn it all. Congratulations. The fate of the colony. Captain, you...
You don't know how glad I am to see you. You must have said something to get under Akande's skin. She's gone, and I don't think she's coming back. And you lunatic, you broke into the board's own fortress just to rescue one doddering old man. You are absolutely out of your mind, and I can't begin to thank you enough. I'm all right, thanks to you. Akande wanted my cooperation. I'm quite sure she would have beaten it out of me if you hadn't arrived. You've broken the board's stranglehold on this colony, and you saved my life. But there's still so much we have yet to accomplish. You and I are going to have to work harder than ever to save Halcyon. I'm afraid the situation is far worse than any of us ever anticipated. Earth has gone dark. We haven't received a single message in 3 years. There's been no communication, no signals, nothing. 2 years ago, the Earth's Directorate's frigate disappeared on their way back to Earth. We don't know what they discovered when they arrived, or if they arrived at all.
Earth is only an idea to us. But that idea is the bedrock the colony is built upon. If people were to find out it's gone dark, the shock could be too much to bear.
I don't want to imagine what'll happen once news gets out. Let's just keep this between us for now.
You mean we're all alone out here? Really alone?
I'm afraid so, Miss Holcomb. Halcyon is the only home we have left. Returning to Earth is no longer an option. We're in serious trouble, my friend. Do you know what this means for Halcyon? We can't rely on Earth for support anymore. We've been cut loose. We're entirely on our own. Yes, certainly. I'll help however I can. I don't know what happened, but something must have gone horribly wrong. I don't know why Earth's gone silent. I don't even know if Earth exists anymore. We have no connection back to Earth, and return is likely impossible. We're completely alone out here. You might have heard of the Earth Directorate's frigate. Half the colony's entire military was on that ship. They were returning to Earth when they vanished without a trace. That was 2 years ago. We haven't heard a word from them since. Whatever happened to Earth likely happened to them. I wasn't trying to hide the truth from you, but after all you've done, I owe you an explanation. Yes, I experimented on the Hope's colonists. Each of my experiments ended in catastrophic failure. Each of my subjects died in agony. You are my first and only success. I didn't tell you about the others because I didn't want to burden you. My failures are my own to bear, not yours. Thank you. Perhaps in time I'll learn to forgive myself. My apologies. I need to get a hold of myself. We've far more pressing issues to worry about right now. If you have any more questions, ask me. I'll answer as best I can. Yes, we do. You've done a marvelous thing. You've succeeded where anyone else would have failed, including me. We must begin the revival process immediately, starting with the Hope's brightest minds, and then we're going to fix this damn colony, one problem at a time. We're going to need a leader, and I can't imagine a better person for the job than you. What do you say, old friend? Will you help us? The chairman? I don't know why you let that heartless creature live, but I'll have to trust your judgment. You're the best thing to ever happen to Halcyon. If you want to take it upon yourself to lead this colony, you have my support. We're not a colony any longer, are we? Our last connection to Earth has been severed, and so we have been set free. Our future is uncertain, and no one knows what tomorrow holds. Exciting, isn't it?
The OSI teaches that everything in the universe happens according to the grand plan. But the stranger that arrived in Halcyon was an unplanned variable. From the moment he landed in Emerald Vale, his actions altered the course of history. The events on Tartarus brought about the end of the board's authority. But the board's mistakes would haunt the colony for decades to come. The damage they left behind would require the work of a generation to repair. Dr. Phineas Wells began reviving a handful of the Hope's colonists. Engineers, scientists, technicians, and intellectuals. They were among the brightest minds the Earth had ever sent out into the stars. The Hope scientists and engineers woke up in a colony descending headlong into total collapse. With no way to return to Earth, they had no choice but to band together and devote themselves to the cause of saving Halcyon. The people of Halcyon were nothing if not hardy. In the absence of the board's authority, many of the colony's settlements banded together with a single purpose in mind: survival. Life was especially hard in the years to come. Some towns dissolved by attrition and starvation, but most of them found a way to carry on. In the years to come, Halcyon was forced to reckon with its newfound freedom. The board was gone, and for better or worse, the colony was responsible for its own destiny. Between MSI's worker-centric policies and the iconoclast manpower, Sanjar and Zora were able to rally many of the Terra 2 townships to their cause. MSI's workforce swelled, and the iconoclasts enjoyed a significant surge in their ranks. The board was too distracted by infighting and internal politics to stop MSI from becoming a powerful corporation and a refuge for townships that might have fallen through the cracks. Consumed by paranoia, Lilia Hagen took Sublight Salvage in a controversial direction, openly accusing board officials of an extraterrestrial conspiracy. One day, an accident at the Groundbreaker's docking bay silenced her forever. Time would tell if her replacement could keep the Sublight family together. Adelaide McDevitt replaced Reed Thompson as the leader of Edgewater. She and her followers transformed Edgewater in their image. Anyone loyal to Reed was pressured into leaving town, and those who stayed behind adapted to her way of life. Adelaide transformed the old cannery into a new garden. The nearby Edgewater Cemetery provided a convenient source of fertilizer. Under the leadership of Junlei Tennyson, the Groundbreaker held firm against corporate influence. The ship's mechanical stability gave Junlei the time to educate a promising generation of engineers schooled in her family's traditions. The future of the Groundbreaker looks promising. The rediscovery of the Hope and the abandonment of the lifetime employment program forced Byzantium to come to terms with some uncomfortable realities about the state of Halcyon. While Byzantines were reluctant to surrender the luxuries they'd grown accustomed to, the board's diminished authority gave them little choice in the matter. Nearly everyone had to learn to make do with less. Some even had to get jobs. It was a dark time indeed. Your influence shifted Ellie's perspective. She finally admitted, albeit grudgingly, that she just might need other people. Sometimes. With a steady income from the life insurance payouts, she was finally able to afford a ship of her own. She hired a small crew and flew supply missions to communities on the fringe. Some of them were even legal. Life in Halcyon was sobering for Felix Millstone. The grand revolution he dreamed of never came. There was no great awakening for the colony, no celebrations in the streets. There was only the hard, desperate work of trying to repair a broken colony. Felix never had a head for numbers, but if there was labor to be done, he was there to help. Eventually, Felix realized that the work of a revolution was done with two hands. As much as he enjoyed his adventures aboard the Unreliable, the vicar, known as Max, eventually decided that it was time to move on, to live out the life he had sought so long to create. He knew there were many in the colony who carried burdens much worse than the ones he had struggled with, and he devoted himself to easing their suffering wherever he could. He only ever took up arms again to defend the defenseless. Unshackled from a lifetime of striving and fighting the universe and himself, Vicar Maximilian de Soto was finally at peace. Once the matter with the Hope colonists was resolved, Junlei bashfully asked Parvati if she'd like to join her permanently on the Groundbreaker, and Parvati enthusiastically, if somewhat awkwardly, agreed. The stories of her adventures spread across the colony, and Parvati soon found herself the center of attention. Having served as the engineer of a renowned spacecraft, tramp freighters and wildcat miners sought her out by name, and in no time, she was a fixture in the Groundbreaker's mechanical ecosystem. She and Junlei were never far apart. Nyoka returned to Monarch to take another crack at making a permanent life for herself. She formed the Charon Group, a mercenary outfit of ragtag survivalists and wilderness experts. Anyone in need of a guide, or just looking to throw back a beer and swap stories, could find her camping on the trail or clearing an infestation. The SAM unit that accompanied you spread awareness of the product line's superior sanitation and maintenance capabilities across what was left of the colony. This led to a boost in SAM unit sales. Did you know that SAM units are the longest-lasting, toughest-acting cleaning solution in Halcyon? Minister Clark was released from house arrest, and his contact with you gave him a sense of renewed purpose and vigor. Once it became clear that no help would be coming from Earth, he threw his considerable efforts and talents into helping Halcyon manage the crisis before it. It was widely suspected that Sophia Akande was the true power behind Chairman Rockwell. However, after the riots on Tartarus, she was never again seen in the colony. Various theories circulated as to her fate. Some believed she boarded an interstellar ship capable of journeying to a distant colony. Others believed she died trying to escape Tartarus. Some few suggest she fled to Monarch, where she continued to live among a small band of loyalists. There is another theory, which suggests that Sophia's encounter with you changed her, and she deliberately retreated from public view, but continued supporting the colony in secret. When Dr. Wells began reviving the Hope's colonists, he found himself with a sudden windfall of additional supplies and resources, courtesy of an anonymous donor. If Wells knew who his supplier was, he never told a soul. Chairman Rockwell served as the public face for the changes in Halcyon to come. Whenever you needed strings pulled or a voice to sell a policy change, Rockwell was only too happy to oblige. As for Dr. Phineas Wells, he spent his remaining years in his orbital lab. He eventually came to terms with his own past and was able to forgive the mistakes of his younger self by devoting his remaining years to serving the colony. In the end, Dr. Wells was able to save every scientist and engineer aboard the Hope. Over the next decade, nearly all of the Hope's remaining colonists were successfully revived. Halcyon saw a period of rapid technological and scientific advancement. Breakthroughs in dietary supplements saved the colony from starvation. Geoengineering projects and social reforms began to change the structure and character of the colony. Dr. Wells laid the groundwork for the project to save the colony, but he would never live to see the fruits of his labor. He passed away a few years later. His work was carried on by the scientists and engineers he revived. Today, Halcyon has stabilized. The people of the colony work hard to adapt to their new circumstances. Nearby colonies send aid and supplies. Life will never be easy in Halcyon, but for the first time in its history, there exists a sense of real, genuine hope about the future. And what about you, the unplanned variable in the history of Halcyon? You brought an end to the chaos on Tartarus and made Chairman Rockwell your own puppet, a role he was all too eager to play. The colony never realized you were the true power behind the new administration. By acting vicariously through agents and third parties, you controlled Halcyon from the shadows. As a result, Halcyon survived the turbulent years that were to follow. No one knows what's happened to Earth, and no one knows what the future has in store for Halcyon. All we know for certain is this: the name of the Unreliable and that of its intrepid captain will remain the subject of countless stories for years to come.
You don't know how glad I am to see you. You must... The chairman? I don't know what... You're the best thing... We're not a colony any longer, are we? Our future is...
The OSI teaches that everything in the universe happens according to... From the moment he landed in Emerald, the events on Tartarus brought about the end of the board's authority. But the Hope scientists, the people, in the years between, consumed by paranoia, under the leadership, the rediscovered your life in house, as he knew once the Nyoka returned to Monarch, the SAM unit that Minister Clark was released from house arrest, and his contact with you gave him a sense of renewed purpose, and it was widely suspected that Sophia... There is another As for Dr. Phineas, he eventually... In the end, Dr. Wells was able to save every scientist and engineer aboard. Dr. Wells laid the groundwork for the project. Today, Halcyon has stabilized. And what about you? You brought an end to the riot on Tartarus, and partnered with Chairman Rockwell to run the colony together. As Halcyon looked toward the future, you remained a constant presence in the colony's administration. You were never weighed down by bureaucracy, and you never had to dirty your hands with politics. You had people who did that for you. By your influence, Halcyon survived the turbulent years that were to follow. No one knows what's happened to Earth, and no one knows what the future has in store for Halcyon. All we know for certain is this: the name of the Unreliable and that of its intrepid captain will remain the subject of countless stories for years to come.